Hey friends, Brian Miller, Small Town Movie Watcher. I just got done watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, starring Chris Pratt and a whole slew of other people. This movie was rated PG 13, and it's brought to you by your friendly friend, your friendly neighborhood studio, Marvel Studios. This movie is the sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy. That's it, just Guardians of the Galaxy. And this movie takes place, I guess, like 6 months supposedly after the original one. This movie is about, it's kind of twofold. Um, One, it's about Star Lord, Peter Quill slash Chris Pratt, coming to terms on finding his dad in this world, because we found out in the first movie that Peter Quill, Star Lord's dad, is an alien from an ancient race. Two, this movie is about the redemption of Yondu, Michael Rooker's, there we go, Michael Rooker's character in this movie. Um, so, the good, the bad, the ugly. The good, this movie is beautiful. There's a lot of green screen stuff that happens on this movie. There is some actual movie happening here on Earth, but for the most part, this is green screen work, and some studio work, soundstage work. It's filmed, if I saw, in Georgia at Pinewood Studios, so keeping it local, keeping it fresh, I guess. I mean local, that it's in the United States. Um, I think the acting on this movie is fantastic. I think it's just as good as the first one, if not better. Um, I did not enjoy in the first one Batista's character Drax, but after getting more into the comics again and watching Guardians of the Galaxy again, I kind of appreciated him, and I appreciated him more in Volume 2 here. I also appreciated the acting of Karen Gillian. I think that's her name. She played Nebula. Um, if you ever watch any of her stuff, she always comes across as this very kind and joyous person. In this movie, she's very dark and she's very um, brooding. She's got a plan, and that's to take out her dad, Thanos. Um, so yeah, and then you got a bunch of Groot in this movie, bunch of cute baby Groot. So all good stuff. Speaking of baby Groot, the opening sequence of this movie is fantastic. I think this movie it opens up on a planet where they're protecting these batteries against this space alien thing that sucks on batteries, sucks on energy out of batteries, and so they're protecting this from this giant space creature. And so at the beginning of it, they're hooking up this speaker system, stereo speaker system, to jam out to some 80s tunes while they're fighting. Groot finishes it while everyone else is fighting. And so you got this 5 minute long montage of the Beatles' Mr. Blue Star, Mr. Blue Man. It's a Beatles tune. And Groot is just jamming out to this song while the team is in the background fighting. I didn't watch this movie in 3D or IMAX, but that's one of those scenes that you would have watched it, and that would have probably been amazing. So maybe this weekend I'll catch it a second time and I'll watch that specifically for, that's one of those reasons to watch it in IMAX 3D. Um, so what I've seen, you can tell the parts that are supposed to be in 3D and on IMAX. And you can tell the parts that are supposed to be in 2D and on your regular screen. So in all, the filming of this, the cinematography, the acting in this, the music, all plays a great role in this. I think Michael Rooker, who plays Yondu, really stepped up his game in this movie. He's got some memorable lines. He's got some memorable one-liners in this movie that is, the first movie there's I Am Groot. That's all we had. And then there was a hashtag of "We Are Groot." But I think that Yondu's character here has some memorable one-liners like, "I'm married." No, what was it? "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all." He says that. That's pretty funny. And then he also says that he may be your father, but he ain't your daddy. Apparently, Yondu is Southern redneck. So I think that it was all really good. Stuff that was bad about this movie. There was a lot of critics out there, a lot of people, reviewers, podcasters that watched this movie and said that the third act had some problems with it, and I really don't think so. The third act was this epic battle. We'll leave it there. And I thought that this was really played out well. There were some times that the CGI didn't catch up. It just wasn't as good as the rest of the movie. But for the most part, I thought that it was good. Let's back up to something good. So 2 things that I missed in good. Okay. One, we have Kurt Russell in this movie. And in this movie, the 3rd movie in a row for Marvel Studios, where we have de-aged someone. With this one, Kurt Russell is 90% de-aged through makeup, and then the other 10%, according to James Gunn, the other 10% is done through computers. Whereas in previous incarnations, Captain America: Civil War and Ant-Man, the de-aging effects were done, I think they say, completely by computer. I think that Marvel Studios has really figured out how to do this de-aging really well with a mix of makeup and computer. Seeing Kurt Russell with the feathered hair, he's looking pretty good. I can't rock the feathered hair. I mean, I try. That's why I got this. I should cut my hair twice a year, and right now this is where I'm at. But I can't do the feathered hair, but that guy, he can. So that's one other good part. And the second good part is that really Peter Quill, Star-Lord, showing through his 80s, manifests a giant Pac-Man. And it's awesome. It's in the 3rd act. So back to things that are bad. A lot of people said the 3rd act was not good. And from a pure standpoint of just enjoying the movie, I think that the battle scene in the 3rd act was good. So that's just me. So in all, I don't think that there's really anything bad that I thought of this movie. The CGI is a little shaky there in that 3rd act, but otherwise, I thought it was really good. So ugly? Well, it's not ugly. There's nothing that connects this movie back to anything else that's in the Marvel Universe, and I don't know if that's a bad thing. There's no talk of Infinity Stones. There's no talk of Thanos. Well, there's talk of Thanos, but he's not in it. There's just talk of him, and only Nebula, Karen Gillian's character, only talks about Thanos. He doesn't show up. There's no after credit scenes where an Avenger shows up, or Thor shows up, or the Hulk shows up. None of it. There's no connections back to the MCU, and I don't know if that's a bad thing. But if this movie is kind of the catalyst to jump-starting the Avengers Infinity War, then I think we missed the boat somewhere. So, yeah, there's that. Sorry, my hand is in the way here. Had to do something before it got loud in here. Yeah, so good, the bad, the ugly. That's it, man. What else? What else? No, good movie. I thought this was a good movie. I think that you should go out and watch it. Again, Brian Miller, Small Town Movie Watcher. Just got done watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, rated PG-13. It is for some swearing, but it's really for a lot of violence. So with that, peace out. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.